You kind of want to laugh at that, but it's actually kind of sad when you think about it. It's almost like a new generation is being brought up by people who are saying that mental illness is cool. It gets to a point where you lack identity and your entire identity revolves around your fake disorder. The truth is that these kids are a result of failed parenting, teachers or friends. Maybe you're an amazing parent and your kid still fakes a disorder, tics and roses. They could have been failed by our culture. For some of these kids, faking a disorder is the only source of connection and acceptance. We shouldn't laugh at them or their parents. Kids who are craving that acceptance can't turn to things like or alcohol, so they might turn to things like video games, food, and faking disorders. It's an imaginary place for receiving unconditional love to a child that they're not getting from their family or culture. Today we are going to be reviewing some TikToks that actually fight to stop the stigma of faking disorders on the internet. People describe how they know people who are diagnosed with said disorders, BPD, DID, ADHD, what have you, but that they won't want to talk about it because if they bring it up in any extenuating circumstance, people will shut it down and say they're faking. Bipolar disorder can be diagnosed within teenage years to early 20s, but the whole self-diagnosing thing is difficult because we all love the stereotype of like, oh, you're bipolar, you're super happy then and you're not, like, actually no, that's a human thing. There are so many people on the internet who are like,
oh, you think you know me, just wait until you meet my multiple personalities.
Actually, all of us act different in situations. Like, I even catch myself in these situations. I'm like, oh my god, sometimes I like to swear and sometimes I don't.
I totally have DID.
No, that's a symptom of being a human being. I have DID because when I'm at work, I act differently. Do you dissociate for hours on end? Experience extreme depersonalization, derealization until it affects your life? Lose friends and family because you can't remember what you said to them? Okay. Gotcha. The reality is that it's all about the different environment the different mood you're in. There can be different reasons for mood swings.
What's up, girl? How you been? I'm good. I've just been totally manic lately. Oh, okay. Like manic for real? What's up? Nah, it's just you're saying you're manic, like you're bipolar? I'm kind of bipolar sometimes. That's a serious mood disorder. Manic is just like a fun word. Have you ever believed you could photosynthesize? What? You ever create a ciphered hieroglyphic language locked in a closet for 5 days and then send 99 copies of Dark Souls 2 to your ex's house? No, but one time I took a Vyvanse and suddenly got the urge to vacuum. That's not what I'm fucking talking about! Bruh, it's not a hydro flask, Jennifer! You can't pick it up and drop it. Sometimes I get into a bit of a mood though. You are not bipolar because you didn't want a french fry 5 minutes ago, but now you want a french fry. Well, sometimes I legit get a little bit OCD.
I think it's extremely common for people to say, oh my god, I'm so OCD, I like to be organized or something. With OCD, you can have obsessions that will literally destroy your life. For example, you believe that if you don't knock on your door 10 times, your family member is going to die. And therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists telling you this is not the case. There's nothing they can say that will make you believe them.
Did you hear a fucking thing I just said? The only underlying condition you guys, lactose intolerance. The most triggering event from your childhood was only having one golden retriever. The only intergenerational trauma you inherited is the case of the hiccups. The only lithium you gotta rely on is the battery in your iPhone. The only meds you gotta take is B12. You're neurologically simple. The only box you gotta think out of is the one for prokaryote. And that's okay! But don't come to me and say you're manic when we both know you're not bipolar. Fuck!
Some people with OCD are complete neat freaks and some are the complete opposite. I've been there before, the whole realization phase where it's like, oh yeah, that was totally my bad. The thing is though, if these things are really bothering your life to that extent, why don't you seek medical professional help?
I think I caught the ADHD bug. It's not like the flu, Jimothy, but why do you say that? Because this guy on TikTok is relatable. Jimothy, are you self-diagnosing off of a mediocre TikToker? He said that he gets hyperfixated, and I get hyperfixated. Jimothy, hyperfixations also affect other neurodivergencies like ASD and OCD.
We love Jimothy's mom. Everybody needs a mama like Jimothy's. Okay, high key though, though this man does an amazing job of explaining how symptoms do not equal ADHD. But the internet is very quick to convince you of the opposite.
So he's lying to me? No, Jimothy, he's just pointing out an associated feature of ADHD. Associated features are common experiences that people with the same diagnosis have, but it's not measurable and affects other diagnoses, so you can't put it in the DSM-5 under ADHD. So is he pathologizing normal human behavior? That's a big word, but no, Jimothy, the struggles of ADHD can be very relatable to a neurotypical brain because everybody's executive function will glitch out.
The way that he talks about how struggles of ADHD can be very relatable to all of us. For example, there's people who say, I have 100 different disorders. Maybe they truly believe it because they see the symptoms and they're like, oh yeah, that's me.
Is whether it's a tiny glitch that doesn't affect your daily life, or if it's an ongoing virus that breaks your computer. Need an example. Jimothy, you know when you take out your phone to check the time, but your brain doesn't process it, so you have to take out your phone again to see what it was? Everybody does that, mama. Well, that's right, but a person with ADHD will do that 10 times over and then repeat the cycle 5 minutes later when they already forgot what time it was.
I feel like ADHD is just such a hyper focus, no pun intended, on being like overstimulated all the time. There is so much more to ADHD, such as emotional dysregulation. It can mock trauma disorders.
How do I see if I caught the ADHD bug? Now, Jimothy, the TikToker with too many beanies, had a link in his bio to a self-screener report test. Fill this out, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll go to your doctor. Thanks, mama. No problem, Jimothy.
I disagree with you, Jimothy's mother. You could never have too many beanies. No, but with everything else, it was amazingly said. Filling out a report test does not mean that you have the disorder. The sad thing is, though, not every kid has a parent who will have this open conversation with them. Being fed all of these fake disorders on the internet all the time, there's so many different reasons a kid might decide to fake or literally unconsciously fake. I guess it depends on the disorder. Like with DID, I struggle. Like, how do you not know that you're exaggerating your alters if you're faking it?
You know, I usually stay out of hashtag discourse because I'm a funny TikToker or whatever, but honestly, the way that you guys talk about mental illness on this app is absolutely nauseating. It is disgusting. And this is coming from somebody who has been diagnosed with OCD, possibly PTSD and ADHD. I have a psychiatrist, I have a therapist, I'm on medication, I've been dealing with this for years, and I've lost a friend to suicide. I know what I'm talking about. Your mental illness doesn't make you quirky or funny. It didn't. It didn't add spice. It didn't do any of that.
This is what needs to be going viral. The sad reality is, though, this will probably not go as viral as the fake TikToks. Things will probably not change, and they'll probably just do the same things they always did. When you're so deep into whatever addiction you might have, whether it's video games or faking a disorder, you have to want it, and you might just get angry if people try to call you out.
So many of you have glamorized it. You've made being sick desirable with all your stupid jokes about starving yourself and how much you hate yourself and your depression rooms and everything along those lines. It was such a slap in the face to come back onto TikTok after my best friend killed himself to see all these jokes about suicide without trigger tags. Y'all really don't know what you're talking about. You really don't. It's just very clear that a lot of you don't understand the difference between loving yourself when you're mentally ill and glamorizing your illness to the degree where younger people are driven to mimic you.
Humor can be a coping mechanism. Some people hate it, but some people find that joking about their disorder or trauma can help them to work through it. This girl was talking about the tasteless, glamorized, and corny mental illness turned quirky. A lot of these TikToks you will see will just be like, mental illness, quirky and relatable, and they make it look desirable. It's a valued asset to be different, interesting, and valid in this world.
Hey guys. Wait, what was that? Sorry, I zoned out. It's just, I have ADHD. Was I diagnosed? Actually, yeah. It's called Google.com. Don't you ever invalidate me like that again. I was trying to do my homework the other day and someone FaceTimed me and I couldn't pay attention. Like, Siri, how do I become ADHD?
You don't have ADHD, you are just lazy as fuck.
Okay, that's enough.
Anyone with ADHD, please let me know in the comments, but from what I have heard, living with ADHD is not fun. It's a disorder for a reason. People think, haha, I'm so creative and energetic, and then, oh my god, I have depression and I can't sleep. This one was funny because it's like, I don't know, like, why? Like, okay, let's say that you actually do have hand movements because of something. Why would you want to show that? I don't know. with actual disorders such as ADHD talk about how they can't really relate to a lot of the things that people who are faking are saying. I do wonder though if people who fake mental illness ever feel bad for what they have done. Do you ever feel bad because of like the bad rep that you're putting people with the actual disorder through? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on if you're feeling risky, and comment below your favorite dessert. Okay, maybe I'm a little hungry right now, but you know that it's tiramisu or like pecan pie or like, oh, chocolate, always chocolate. Make sure to comment below, it helps with the algorithm. Thank you so much to each and every one of my members for the support. It means the world to me. Have a good day, night, whatever the case may be, and peace out.